Hello and welcome back to Medicine Creek. So as you've probably noticed from the start of the video, a bit of time's passed and I've been really busy trying to progress quite quickly now through this map. We're going to get this second harvest done that I said I was going to do, so we can move over to the next map with a bit of cash. But to recap on what I did, so I sold all the grain around winter time, got around, I think it was about 70,000 with the 20,000 that I already had. So it wasn't too bad. Made 50,000 from what we did. It isn't too bad in relation to what these prices are like on this map, but obviously it should have been and could have been a lot better than that on any other map, but it's not too bad. I think putting it on easy, even though that's still quite difficult, more difficult than what traditionally hard would be, it did improve it though, so I'm happy about that at least. So what I did is I sold all the fields that I currently had, and I bought field 46, which is this big massive field just to the right coming up. I was also quite busy thinking, right, what can I do with the field? And I've pretty much cultivated the whole field because it was obviously used for corn loss, as you can see from the edges. Did use course play, kind of jumped in as well, did a bit of GPS as I was doing it. But if we have a quick look at the map, you can see that I scanned it at the same time. Not a bad field. I think it's about 100%, so it's not going to be a bad yield at all. I also spread lime, so I sorted all that out, spread lime, at least started a spreader, and then obviously bought the lime using an auger, so did all that. And then I also did the nitrogen, so I used anhydrous on the cultivator at the same time, and we kind of topped it up with some nitrogen. So what we're going to have to do is plant this field, and then spray some herbicide, and then we're pretty much going to be harvesting it. So hopefully within 2 episodes we'll have done the planting and the harvesting. That's my plan. So that's pretty much what this main aim is in this episode, is to plant. Now with it being a big field, I've decided that I'm going to lease out a quite big John Deere planter. It's about 26 metres and it will pull it on this tractor, so we're going to go and get that first so we can crack on with it. We've got enough seeds, and the only thing we'll need really is just the time to do it, and that's it. We can get this corn in the ground. It is the right temperature now. We have waited till mid-spring just so it is the right temperature to do the planting. But yeah, we're going to try and be as productive as possible, get this corn in the ground, because that's what I decided to plant. In the end, I thought corn would be the best bet because we can sell it in the winter, and then by the time winter hits, we'll move over to the next map. Now I am still trying to decide on what map to go next. I've got a few options, but I'll probably leave it as a bit of a surprise and a bit of a guessing game, and then we'll move over. I am going to sell every single thing that I've purchased at the start, so all the land, everything like that's going to get sold. I'm not going to sell the individual items that I placed on, like the basin and also the extra bin. I'm not going to sell that. That's going to be technically, in my head, part of the farm, so I'll just sell the farm itself for what it is and all my equipment. Unfortunately, some of the tractors that I've got, because obviously I adjusted the hour on them, they are quite reduced in price, so it could be a lot better, but I think we'll have a good amount of money. And what I'm going to try and do from this harvest is pay off the loan, so I don't have to take any loan over with me. That would be ideal. So if this harvest comes in pretty well, I'll try to pay off the loan, sell all the equipment and the land, and then we'll know exactly what money we're going to take over. And what I'm also going to do is transfer over one piece of equipment that I've currently got, so I won't sell it. I'll take it over, give the same hours to it, going into the next map. And I think that'll be a good way to, just keep hopping over until we find one map that stands out and I'm enjoying it a lot. Too much to switch over. I think we'll just keep trying out different American maps, because this was the first American map that I've played on FS19, so I do want to try a few others. I think it would be a good idea, like I said previously, to just try as many as possible on FS19, so that is the aim. So let's head down to the shop, I'll show you this planter, and then we can get back, fill it up with some seeds, and we can crack on with it. Right, so here we go, we're at the shop. Quickly, I just want to show you, a while back I actually spawned in some equipment just to show off, obviously with it being a John Deere dealership, but I was actually thinking that maybe these are things that we should be aiming for. in the future. So I obviously got this swather that's the one by Polycount, really high detailed, definitely a lot better than the one we've currently got. I mean, maybe we could do an episode where we have one on demo and play it like that. I think that might be a good idea. But also, I was trying to find a tractor that'd be really ideal to grow to. US style, obviously warning signs on the back, as you can see. And this is the 8R410 John Deere, and it's got a lot more power. It's actually really nice inside, a lot of detail to it. I do like it. Custom sounds, all that. So it would be a good idea to maybe aim for something like this when we do upgrade, obviously, which is going to be hopefully easy to do on the next map, because like I've mentioned, this map is difficult. It really is, and I do like the look of that, I have to say. It's a bit of a beast. Anyway, let's get this sorted. We'll get what we need leased out and we'll take it back. Right, so here we go. It's back on the farm, and this is the piece of kit that I've gone for. It is quite a beast of a machine. It really is. Just jump up here so you can get a better look. Let's just have a quick look as well at the details as well, so I can talk to you through that. So it's the DB90 2004 model 36 row, and it goes up to 27 meters. That's what I've gone for, and it needs 315 brake horsepower, which is exactly what we can smash that. I think we're 380, so not a problem at all there. In fact, we might be a little bit more than 380. Let's just actually check that one out. Yeah, so I've just checked and I'm actually 350, so we should be fine. Definitely got enough power. I quickly just want to point out the money. I'm at 5,700, and I was trying to find out ways I can generate money without selling some of the equipment. Really, I'm struggling. I've got a bit of milk as well. That's the only thing I can think of. But what I was thinking about is the fact that I've got 221,000 litres of silage, but I can't sell it because in loose and nowhere accepts silage. If we just quickly go to the sell points, you can see that it says silage here, and this is not bad for £1, and this is how many pounds we've got. Quite a lot, basically. A real massive amount, but I can't sell it unless it's in bale format. So obviously that is a bit of a pain. But we can sell milk, so why don't we quickly just sell the small amount of milk that I've got, 10,000 litres. Again, on this, price isn't the best. As you can see, pretty much getting £746 a litre. I'm sure I was in dollars. Oh, I'm in pounds again. Let's change that back. Always forget about this one, I'll be honest. There we go. Give it a quick save, and then job done. So let's sell it. I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to get 6,000, which will help a lot. It really will. So we're at 12,000 now. That is definitely something helpful. I've also got a massive mound of manure that's been generating since I've been given straw. But again, can't really do much with that as well, because the only thing I can do is spread it on the fields, but I don't really need to do that. So, can't sell it. I'm just going to have to let it build up. I did want to obviously use the slurry spreader and the manure spreader, but I am pretty much ready to move on to the next map now. So let's fill this up and get the big field planted, and then we're going to come down as well and plant in field 61, because I have it available. I can't sell it unless I sell the farm. So we may as well use that as well, to be honest. Right, so I'm just trying to get the remaining corn seeds in there from the 2 pallets. I'm lucky that I actually bought a lot of corn seeds at the start. There we go. And this probably won't empty. It might do, but from experience, the seeds last quite a while. Now, my maintenance on the tractor is quite low, but I'm just going to see how far I can go before I do need to obviously sort that out. So we'll keep an eye on it. Fuel's not a problem because we can always bring the service trailer down. I have to take this on wide angle. There we go. Yes, the fuel's not a problem because we can bring the service truck down. Got a bit of herbicide, not much, but we have got a bit of it. We might need to buy some herbicide, but I think everything else we shouldn't need to fork any money out for. So just the 2 things, they're the only things I can think of, which is the servicing the vehicle. We've already got some fuel in the service trailer, which is good because you don't have to buy it. It's already got some in. And yeah, the other thing is going to be herbicide, so hopefully it won't be too costly now. I'm also expecting a good yield because we got quite a lot of corn from the 2 fields that we did, and they were a lot smaller in size. Even though field 46 states here that it's 81 acres, it's not going to be fully 81 acres because if you can see, this is the bit that's missing off from that total, so the bit in blue we're not taking that into account. So let's get in the field, get started. I'm going to be doing this with GPS. Obviously it's going to be a bit of a montage as well, probably going through the whole field, but I'll start off with the headland passes and then I'll finish on the up and down rows, and I'll do it manually. I want to try and do a field like this myself, and I think it shouldn't be too bad with this machine that we've got on the back because it's massive. It really is. So let's unfold it. I can imagine it takes some power to unfold something like this. It's doing a good job. Now I haven't got a front weight on, so I might need to go and get a front weight, bring it down here, but we'll see how we get on. I think it might be a good idea actually. So I'll quickly just go and get the front weight, bring it down on the other tractor, and then we'll crack on. Right, so I've just brought the front weight down, just dropped off there. I've also got the service truck, so we're all ready to go. Now I'm not going to be using Pro Seed. I've decided that it's going to be a better idea to just plant this straight up because we only need to spread herbicide, or spray herbicide, sorry. So we can do that as the crop's early, still in an early growth stage. Right, so we've turned it on. Let's drop it down. You can hear the air system. It's obviously like pumped in. I do like that sound effect. It's pretty cool. It's massive, absolutely massive, and I think the front weight is going to help. We've definitely got enough power behind us, so let's get started with this and get planting. Now we shouldn't be actually using Pro Seed, but let's just correct that because something's not quite right there. Right, so that should have fixed it, which it has done, thankfully. So all we need to do is pretty much do this field. Now, as you can tell by the span of this planter, it really is going to make easy work of this, I imagine. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. And these are the type of pieces of kit that I probably need to invest in going into the next map. And even if we don't buy a big farm, we just buy some a good sized field and maybe an area where we can store some vehicles away and do quite a bit of planting to progress, let's say, and just do some arable farming at the start, and then we can get a proper farm with a bit of animals, and that might be a good idea. And just make sure that we've got, you know, a piece of kit like this to make our life a little bit easier. That'd be a good idea. Because we've got a powerful tractor like this as well, but our seeder and planter weren't small as I would genuinely say, but they were small in relation to the size field that this map obviously has to offer. Now, even though I'm saying we're going big, this is a big field for me. Field 46 is. But as you can see, look at field 27. It's 300 acres against a field that's 81. And even field 37 is 160. So there is a lot of massive size fields. Still a lot bigger that we could have worked on. Now I am going to leave that on, but I feel like Pro Seed has been a bit of a pain at the moment. Also, every time I press the menu and escape back out, it does set the actual tractor up with a driver, so a worker, which is a bit strange. But I don't want to waste any money, so I don't really want to be paying for a worker when that's not my intention. Right, so I just jumped in and out of the game, got rid of the Pro Seed mod, so deactivated it. just because I found that it was being a bit of a problem when I don't want to use it. Proceed is really good mod when you want to use it. However, if you don't want to use it, it can be a bit of a pain, especially when you try and set it to manual and tell it that you don't want to be doing obviously a tram line in that certain area, but then it tends to sometimes not play ball. But it is a really good mod, and I do want to be using it quite a bit going forward because I do like the effects that it leaves. But obviously for this field, we're trying to maximise everything. We're going to avoid tram lines because we've already fertilised with the anhydrous when we cultivated, so there's no need. We can spread the herbicide when we're pretty much on the first couple of stages of growth, so we don't need to worry too much about tram lines this time round. Now I am thinking about how many headland passes I probably need. I'm thinking maybe just one or two, maybe two, and I'll probably miss a row when I do the GPS up and down rows because I think it'll be easy to turn if we did that with this kind of kit. So I think what I'll do now is I'll put a bit of a montage in of me cracking on with this field, and I'll probably cut back in when I'm about halfway through it. We'll take a bit of a recap. As you can see, we're progressing quite well through field 46. I'm probably a little bit over halfway because these are some longer straights. But I tell you one thing, this planter does make things a lot easier. So I'm definitely glad I leased this out. And I'm happy as well that we've got the milk to sell, because sitting at $9,900 has helped us. And going forward, it obviously means that we can keep getting a little bit of income from the milk just to keep us afloat basically until we do harvest this. And hopefully it shouldn't take too long now. Definitely going to have to buy one of these on the next map. I think it's a must, and it's relatively cheap to be honest. It really is. I think corn's probably going to play a big part as well on the next map, because a lot of the time these American maps do have the facility to use dry corn, and yeah, hopefully we can get some sorghum or something like that. Some different type of crops would be nice. So yeah, we'll wait and see what map I end up going on, and hopefully we get an option to do something a bit different maybe. That would be good. So fuel wise, I'm doing alright, I'm about halfway. Maintenance is getting low, so that's something that I'm probably going to have to think about soon. Maybe after this field we'll have a look at the cost. And then if it isn't too bad, I'll get it done and out of the way, because we're definitely going to need this for round harvest for carting. So we're gonna, it's not like we can get away with it. We are going to need to use it. Now I am running GPS. I've been running GPS quite a while. To field this big and this size, it just makes sense. So looking at the actual field, we've probably got a couple more rows to do. Definitely, probably another half an hour maximum, and this field should be done. Seeds are doing well as well, 55% still. Probably going to be around 30%. I'm going to take a guess and say 30% of the seeds will be left in the planter, which is definitely good, because then we'll do that little field as well next to the farm, which will probably only take like 3 rows with this. It's going to be easy, really easy to do. And then, like I said previously, the only thing we need to do then is wait for it to grow a bit, do a bit of herbicide, catch it at the right time so we don't do any crop damage. And then I'd say the most difficult part now going forward is going to be to harvest, because our header isn't anywhere near the size of this. It really isn't. In fact, let's just take a quick look and we'll get the exact size, because I think it's about 9 meters, if I remember rightly. Yeah, it's 9 meters, so it's going to be a challenge. It really is. It's going to take a long time. And the harvester doesn't hold the biggest amount as well, so yeah, this is going to be a single job that's probably going to be a big course play. So in the next episode, what I'm probably going to do is maybe do the herbicide in between the episodes, and then we'll do the harvesting, and then probably by the end of the next episode, I'll hopefully have done a bit of a montage, maybe some time lapses, something along them lines, and we can move over on the episode after that one, which should be episode 13, and hopefully then we'll be on the next map with a bit of cash, but it just probably means that episode 12 is going to be quite a long one. But I am ready now to move over and try something a little bit different. So we are streamlining this last harvest, which isn't too bad anyway, because we haven't got many cows, so it's not like I'm doing much work in between. Right, so there we go. As you can see, it does take a good chunk off, so it's definitely getting easier to do as well the more we do, because of the fact that we're shortening it out each time. So what I'll do now is I'll finish this field off. I'll cut back in when it's all done, and I might even speed up time maybe to mid-spring, day 6, something along them lines. Give it an extra 3 days and we'll see where the crop type is, and we'll see how it's growing. Welcome back. It's now day 5, late spring, and as you can tell, the corn is growing pretty well, and there's no weeds as of yet, so don't need to do it just yet, but I don't want to obviously leave it too late. So what I'm probably going to do is in the next couple of days, I'll spread some herbicide in this field, which is obviously growing quite nicely, and also in field 61, which is just a small one, but I thought, well, we own the field, so we may as well. 2 little tiny spots failed germination, which isn't too bad in relation to how big the field is, so that's not going to have too much of an impact really anyway. So overall, I am pretty happy with what I've got done in this episode. So like I said, I'll do some herbicide in between this episode and the next, and then in the next episode we'll crack on and do the finishing touches on this map, which is to get this massive 80 odd acre field harvested, get the corn dried and sold. So it is going to be a longer episode, and then I'll probably take a recap, and yeah, we'll have a look for the next map. So on that note, I am going to leave the video there. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. That really does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.